Hey everybody, welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that are up for pre-order by this weekend. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now, where you can pre-order these books. Make sure you get your pre-orders in. That way, when these books release in a few weeks, you don't have to worry about them selling out. You'll already have yours with your name on it. And
written on the cover. With a Sharpie.
I don't think that bothers anybody. Maybe we'll like dog-ear a page and write it on there or something. Yeah. But yeah, so make sure you pre-order because that lets us know what people are most excited about and make sure that you get what you want. So this is an interesting week of books. The big ones are kind of surprising ones. I feel like they're a little different pace than usual. Yeah. And you'll see what I mean when we get into it. But let's get started with our Prime Comic pre-orders.
We are going to start with The Mortal Thor #1. And this is the new run of Thor. Still written by Al Ewing. The art is by Pasquale Ferry. And I'm not caught up on the Immortal Thor. I guess he died or is going to die and now is coming back. And the solicitations for Thor are always kind of strange. They don't really tell you exactly what's in the book, so I'll just read this for you. It says that the Norse myths tell of gods who walked the earth, doing great deeds for the mortals who believed in them, but Asgard isn't real and never was, and neither were the gods. I actually don't know what that's all about, so if you've been reading Immortal Thor, this might make a little bit more sense to you. And it says that nobody's coming to help us, but somewhere in the city, a man with a hammer is waking up. And you can see the man with a hammer there. So
my first laying in bed, cuddling with his hammer.
My first thought was maybe Don Blake's coming back with the cane, but now I'm thinking maybe it's just Thor. And I feel like we've done this story before. Where Thor is on Earth, but he doesn't have his memories. And
it's a little bit like the Straczynski run, where some of the other gods are also just like regular people. Yeah. And he had to go like wake them up.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It kind of gives some of that vibe of like they don't realize that there's something greater than that. So.
Yeah, so it's a little bit confusing to me, but if you've been reading Immortal Thor, you probably know exactly what this is all about. But we want to let you know that the first issue of this is up for pre-order this weekend. So this is our A cover from Alex Ross. We have a Jeffrey Brown variant. We have a Joe Quesada variant, and then a Patrick Gleason foil variant.
That's going to look awesome.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of his Amazing Spider-Man covers with all web. He did everything out of web, and now it's all lightning instead.
Next up, we have a new miniseries from DC. This is Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Justice League. So this sounds really fun. This is by Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott. And this is, for one, this is a very interesting pairing of characters. Mm-hmm. This is not Lex Luthor and the Joker. Yeah. It's some more, like they don't have the ultimate superpowers. And it sounds interesting because Cheetah and Cheshire assemble a team of misfits and oddballs to pull off the impossible, robbing the Justice League Watchtower. I want to know who else is involved in this as well. Is it like Condiment King?
Oh, I hope so. Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man, like something like that.
I just think it's funny that this brand new Justice League Watchtower that houses every hero on Earth is has the worst security ever. Yeah. And they even talked about in the All In special, like this is the state of the art everything. But in the question series, like Cyborg Superman broke in. There was the thing with Darkseid, and now they're breaking in.
There was all the attacks with the Defenders.
Yeah.
Or the Challengers.
Oh,
right. Unknown got attacked and everything. So it's maybe not the best place to hang out. Because it does say just the most sophisticated security orbital platform in history, full of the strongest and smartest heroes in the universe. So how could anything go wrong with this plan? I do like these stories we've been getting that are set on the Watchtower. Yeah. Like, I want to see them sneaking around, who else is there, all that kind of thing. So I think this sounds fun. This is going to be a 6-issue miniseries, and I enjoy them doing stuff like this as well that are, this maybe furthers some of the big storylines. Maybe it doesn't, but we still get another window into a different angle of the Justice League maybe with this. So we've got our A cover here by Nicholas Scott. We have a Porel variant, a Lyrics variant, and there is a foil version of that Porel cover.
And next we have Bring On the Bad Guys, Red Skull. This is the next in the Bring on the Bad Guys series of one-shots. This one's written by Stephanie Phillips. The art is by Tommaso Bianchi. And this is a story of Red Skull's ruthless past from the dark days of World War II and what horrible future awaits Captain America as a result of the Red Skull's deal with Mephisto. So, we've read plenty of stories with Captain America fighting Red Skull, and Cap has always come out on top. So, what deal did Red Skull make with Mephisto, and what story have we not seen yet where maybe Red Skull comes out on top? I'm not sure, but these have been pretty. We've only had 2 so far. They've been pretty fun.
Abomination comes out
next
Monday.
week? Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that on Monday. I'm excited about that one.
Yeah.
Because the little cameo he had in the Doom one was really cool.
Yeah, so here's the next one of these. I think this is the 5th one. I think Abomination comes out next week, and then there's another one before this one. I don't remember which one, though. So this is our A cover. We have an Andrea Sorrentino variant. There's a Miguel Mercado variant. A Mirka Andolfo's Sister Sorrow variant. That one's really cool. And then a Todd Knock iconic variant.
Oh, that was really cool, too. I love the classic green Red Skull.
Yeah.
It just contrasts really well with his face. Next up, we have a new indie book called Orla. This is by John Lees and Sally Cantrino. And this sounds really fun because I say that about everything. I wouldn't talk about it if it didn't sound fun. I would just cross my arms.
That kid's got some great books.
They really do, yeah. So this follows Orla Bard. She's an antique restorer and romance novel enthusiast who believes in true love. She's living in Seattle and dealing with repeated bad dates. She's run all the dating apps to death. And she has a little secret. She is afflicted with something she calls the Ick, a man-eating monstrous entity dwelling inside her who violently emerges when Orla gets too angry or afraid. And you can see that in the background. It's like a minotaur-type monster. And she's unable to rid herself of this curse, so Orla uses the Ick to save other women by removing the scummiest men from the dating pool permanently. Hearts and bodies will be broken in this offbeat rom-com creature feature mashup. So it sounds really fun with like the mix of kind of the romance with just the horrifying brutality of this monster. So I've really enjoyed. I don't know if there's any Mad Cave book that I haven't at least been intrigued by. Reading and being like, that's a really interesting idea or a really original idea. So these are always worth checking out the first issues of. We've got our A cover right here by your interior artist, and we have a Sterl variant, which is very creepy.
And next we have EC's Cruel Universe Volume 2, number 1, and just like the first volume of the first series, this is another 12-issue series of anthology stories that are sci-fi stories, but at least the ones I read from the first series, they all had kind of a horror slant to them a little bit. So we don't really have any details about the stories that are in this issue, but I like that it says that there's 3 new parasitic extraterrestrial tales with an endless appetite for pain. So we don't know what the stories are, but we do know that they're going to be written by Jay Holtham, Greg Pak, and Ann DeCenti. And then the art is from Charlie Adler, Kano, and David Rubin. So that's your creative teams on each story. And then there's also a nerve-rending sci-fi classic from the EC Vaults that has been remastered and restored to its original coloring. So you get a bonus old school story, and those stories from the 50s hold up really well. So excited for this one. This is the A cover, and there is a Tom Fowler variant. There's a Lee Bermejo gold foil variant, and then a blank sketch variant.
Next up, we have Uncle Scrooge, Earth's Mightiest Duck, number 1. This is kind of following in the footsteps of the Uncle Scrooge and the Infinity Dime one-shot we got, because this is also by Jason Aaron. And the art in this, I wonder how they break it up, because it does say there's various artists on it, but at least 2 of them that are named are Giuseppe Camuncoli and Mahmoud Asrar, which are fantastic artists to put on this. And in this, the planet has been conquered by alien invaders, the connoisseurs, nefarious hoarders of the rarest antiques from throughout the cosmos. And of course, who has the fanciest and nicest antiques and valuables than Uncle Scrooge? And maybe he's the only one who can stop these aliens, except He is currently facing a battle unlike anything he's ever fought, trapped inside his own mind, fighting to preserve his most precious memories. So I'm not sure what that means. If he's gonna have to fight out of his own brain, or did the aliens put him there, or whatever. I'm not sure, but it sounds really fun. And we've got the it's almost like a Donald and Kryptonite.
Carbonite.
Yeah, Carbonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, check this one out if you enjoyed the previous one. Jason Aaron really nails the tone of the classic Uncle Scrooge books. So we've got our A cover right here. We have a Gonzo variant, which is a nice homage to House of M, right?
Is it? Well, kind of, yeah.
With the puzzle pieces on Wanda. And we have a Mark Brooks variant.
And next up is Event Horizon Dark Descent #1. This is written by Christian Ward, and the art is by Tristan Jones. And this is an official prequel to the movie from back in the 90s. The Event Horizon was a revolutionary spaceship designed for one mission, faster than light travel with a top secret and experimental gravity drive. But when that drive is activated, the ship journeyed across the borders of hell itself. And in this one, it's a nightmarish realm of torments beyond imagining. Captain Kilpatrick and the first crew of the Event Horizon must resist all manner of demonic forces, including Paimon, the eyeless king of hell, and their own descents into madness and bloodlust if they have any chance of escaping back to their own world. So if you're a big fan of the movie, definitely check this one out. This is our A cover. There is a Christian Ward variant. There's a Simmons variant and a blank sketch variant.
Next up, we have Giant Size X-Men #2. This is putting the bookend on the Giant Size storyline that we've had with the first Giant Size X-Men and the Giant Size Dark Phoenix saga and Giant Size. We're getting the House of M, I think, is coming out next week.
Yeah, Age of Apocalypse.
Age of Apocalypse. So there's been quite a few following Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, as she is going through time and space and kind of landing in key moments in the X-Men's history, along with Legion, who's kind of been pulling her along. We don't even know why they're connected, what drove Kamala into this ordeal in the first place, but I think we're going to get some answers. In this one, Miss Marvel stands against Legion, but not alone. I wonder if she's going to pull together a team of X-Men from all the different time frames, or she lands somewhere where the X-Men are ready to back her up. But Kamala has learned what it truly means to be a mutant, but will that be enough to stand against the most powerful enemy she has ever faced? And this does have a backup story, like they have all had, by Jed MacKay, a Revelation story. And if you know about some of the big storylines coming up in X-Men, this introduces a major new player in the X universe, and you'll see who that is on one of the variant covers, the spoiler cover. But if you've been following some of the news about the next big X-Men event, you'll be familiar with who it is. So we have our A cover right here. This is the Kafu spoiler variant with a certain character that's going to be getting a major upgrade coming up soon.
Yeah, we just heard about that event this week.
Yep. We have a really nice Talavera cover with magic, and a Lionel Fritz's U variant.
And next up is Fantastic Four #2. Fantastic Four #1 came out this week, and it is awesome. And this is just continuing that story. Sue is stranded in the very distant future. She's the last living thing on the planet. Reed is stranded in the past, waiting for a rescue that will never come unless the love that he and Sue have for each other can transcend time itself. And then what sounds really interesting is in the present, Doom, because this is in the middle of One World Under Doom, Doom reveals how he has managed to one-up the Fantastic Four for so long, a secret to his invincibility that has transformed every loss into a win. So I don't know if that might have bigger ramifications for the entire One World Under Doom storyline, or maybe this is more localized just to this series. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like a long lost secret that we don't know about Doom. That sounds pretty cool.
I do think this will be. I wonder if when they come back to the present, if they'll come with some knowledge, or like some big punch to Doom once they return.
Maybe,
because this is all kind of coming out in the epic second half of One World Under Doom.
Right.
I feel like they're going to play a big part in that.
Yeah, I do feel like this is a way to take them off the board while One World Under Doom is going on, because if they weren't off the board, they should be front and center of the whole thing, since Doctor Doom is their big bad. But so I think it's a cool like side story, and then maybe they'll come in and save the day at the end. I guess we'll have to wait and see. This is our A cover. We have an Alessandro Pastrovicchio Disney What If variant. There is a NetEase Games Marvel Rivals variant. This is the second half that we had. We had the first half on the first issue. There's a Rose Besh variant, Simone DeMeo cover, a Scotty Young. This is the next, and this is a connecting variant, and there's going to be 5 of these. So they're going to go all the way across. And then there's a Wesley Burt Marvel Studios variant with your new Silver Surfer.
Next up, we have the Ultimates issue number 15. This book keeps bringing the big premieres of the Ultimate Universe versions of familiar characters. This one, it says the Monk, the Dragon, and the Fist Shang-Chi, which I wonder, is he gonna possess the Iron Fist in this? Because that's kind of more Iron Fist thing is like the dragon and
we know that Danny Rand does exist in the Ultimate Universe, but he's in prison, and it doesn't look like he's got any type of Iron Fist powers. So maybe Shang-Chi has them both. Yeah,
or bestows it upon him or something. Could be really cool. And in this, what I think also sounds really interesting, the Ultimates return to the site of their untimely deaths at the hands of Hulk and encounter a young boy who has been starting his own insurgency, which, was it, what's the city that Hulk is in? I get it confused with DC's. Is it Nanda Parbat, or is
is he in Kunlun?
He might be in Kunlun, yeah. Nanda Parbat is DC too, I think. And there's a bunch of mystical cities.
There's a whole lot of mystical cities.
Kung Fu in the snowy mountains. Yeah. But yeah, after all the crazy stuff we learned about, maybe they actually did die there, and then Reed Richards did something to change the timeline where they didn't. I'm excited to see that story go forward, as well as getting Shang-Chi in this. So we've got our A cover right here. And there's an Inyak Lee variant. Like that, This is the Ultimate Special variant. There's also some other variants, but they are not available yet. But keep checking the website, infinityflux.net, as they become available.
And next is Absolute Green Lantern number 5. In this one, the remains of Evergreen are scavenged for clues as to what happened there, because, the big giant lantern-shaped ship just fell right on top of it, squished everything. And Joe faces down the hulking threat of Hal Jordan. And you see a little bit of that on the cover there. If you read the previous issue, you know exactly what that means and what that looks like. So can't wait for them to throw down. We got a little taste of it last issue, and it sounds like we'll get more here. This is our A cover. There's a Juliet NECA variant, and then a Terso variant also. That one's really cool too. Yeah. That one would be nice in foil.
Yeah, it is that interesting circle that's been popping up in there. But now there's lines up above it, so now it's starting to form a lantern. Yeah. It's really interesting. Next up, we've got Absolute Superman. Happy Superman release day for the official release is, I guess it was last night, but it's
well, today's the official release day. Last night was like preview night, but yeah.
And then we saw it days ago. So it's Superman week. And I just want to say, I hope everyone goes sees it because it's fantastic.
It is amazing.
But speaking of Superman, Absolute Superman number 10, very different than the movie version of Superman, as Ra's al Ghul has a sight set on the Man of Steel. Will Kal-El's rage unleash the dark power of Superman, son of the demon? And we saw some of Ra's al Ghul in this last issue, and a very scary version of him. All versions are kind of scary, but this one has an edge to him. And it looks like Kal-El's been definitely pushed to the brink in the series of everyone telling him who he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to do, that he might just snap. So it sounds really cool. I love this series. This is your A cover for that. There's a Parel variant and a Giuseppe Camuncoli variant. Next up, we got more Essential Comics. This first one is kind of more of a PSA we want to mention.
So, this is the Batman #1, Blind as a Bat, Blind Bag edition. So, this is the new Batman #1 written by Matt Fraction with art by Jorge Jimenez that's coming out September 3rd. And so far, they haven't said that that's going to be delayed at all. But All the other covers will be on FOC later, so we will talk about the actual issue later. We've actually both read it already, and it's awesome. We'll talk more about the book itself later, but we want to talk about this one now. This one's on FOC this weekend. So if you remember the blind bags from Battle Beast, this is kind of sort of the same thing, where, well, a little bit different. This is going to be $9.99, and each blind bag will include one foil variant cover of Batman #1 selected at random. So you might get a foil variant drawn by Jorge Jimenez, from Andy Kubert, David Aja, Frank Quietly, Gabriel Delato, J. Scott Campbell, Jim Lee, Julian Totino Tedesco, Mark Silvestri, Art Germ, or you might get a 1 in 500 Jim Lee cover or a 1 in 1,000 Jorge Jimenez cover. So it's random. You don't know what you're going to get, but they all are foil covers.
Yeah.
You just don't know which one you're going to get. And I believe they are foil versions of the non-foil covers that you can order when the rest of them go up for FOC. They're just special foil versions. So you know you're going to get a foil cover. You just don't know which
It's
artist.
not like, oh, the Battle Beast, you could open it, you could get just the regular A cover.
Yeah, it's not
These
like
are all going to be exclusive to this being the foil version. So it's not like you're going to lose out on you're going to get a cool foil cover with this. And $9.99 is roughly what this would be if it was not polybag.
Yeah, and I think that the foil version, I think this is the only way you can get the foil covers.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think you can just like open order the Mark Silvestri foil, for example. I think if you want any of those foils, you have to do a blind bag and just like get whichever. So if you want to order several of them, definitely pre-order. You can pre-order as many as you want, and just be sure to pay for them because your shop's going to order them for you, so be sure to pick them up. I was about ready to jump into the variants, but yeah. So this is the variant. So this one is on FOC this weekend. All the other non-foil covers will be on FOC at a later date, and we'll talk about those when it comes time.
Yeah, we'll talk about the story and everything then. Next up, we have Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #3. And if you read the issue that came out this week, you might have seen a little guest appearance by Silver Samurai. And in this one, fortunately, a band of mutants calling themselves the X-Men come to the aid of Miles Morales. And I'm really interested to see, since Peach Momoko has such a stylized style within the Ultimate X-Men book, see like what a different artist kind of tackles them and how that world looks and the characters interact and all of that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we have never seen any of these characters in this universe anyway drawn by anybody other than, well, I guess that's not true. The covers, the variant covers. We've never seen them in a story drawn by anyone other than Peach Momoko because she's drawn every issue so far. So,
and what will make Miles make what will he make of the dark history of this alternate universe now that he's faced with the reality of what the Maker has done? And I feel like that's going to be pretty cool because they're the only two survivors from their Ultimate Universe. And I don't know if Miles maybe feels a little responsible or, tied to the Maker in some way. Yeah. So we've got our A cover right here. And there is an Inyuk Lee Ultimate Special variant by Peach Momoko. I believe there's going to be one or two other covers that just aren't available yet.
Wait, say that again? That's Inyuk. That's not Inyuk.
No, this is Peach Momoko.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there is
That's the Simone DeMeo.
Simone DeMeo.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was looking up at the Ultimates one. This is, that was Peach Momoko. This is Simone DeMeo, which is really cool. I love the light on that.
This is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong #3, and again, this is going to be a 7-issue series. And in this one, Superman and Lex Luthor form an uneasy alliance to combat the Hollow Earth's mysterious great apes. We saw a little bit of that at the end of last issue. But Superman's powers are waning because he's out of the sunlight and the Hollow Earth. His powers have been kind of on the fritz while he's been on this whole Earth because it's just different, I guess, atmosphere or whatever. While they're doing that, Wonder Woman and Batman wage their own battles against the Suicide Squad, edging closer to uncovering Task Force X's true plan for the creatures of the legendary Earth, the Earth they're on. They call it G-Day Earth here. And then Godzilla returns to defend his realm as king of the monsters. We haven't really seen much of Godzilla yet, but he's going to show up in this one. So this is our A cover. We have a Riccardo Federici variant and a Alan Qua variant. I love when Green Lantern makes mechs, whether they're big suits he gets in or just like robots that he controls. Yeah. I love it.
Well, next up we have a very interesting new number one. This is Romanis Magica number one. This is a 4-issue miniseries. This was originally a Kickstarter book, but now is getting a in-store print version by Matthew Blair and Paul Pert Smith. And I'll just have to kind of read to you what the solicit says, because it's really interesting. In the slums and gutters of ancient Rome, a broken ex-legionnaire named Marcus wanders in a drunken stupor, haunted by the shame of loss and failure of duty. Suddenly, he stumbles across a young girl being chased by strange hooded demons, and in his attempt to help, he is plunged into a deadly conspiracy that threatens to destroy the Empire. And it says this is like equal parts Hellboy, BPRD, and a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know if maybe he discovers like, oh, in Rome there's actually like a group that deal with some of these demonic things. Step into a vision of ancient Rome that moves away from the temples of marble and clean white togas and into the dirty underbelly of one of history's greatest empires, combining magic, myth, and violence and intrigue into the story. So yeah, it sounds really cool. I love stuff set in like period pieces, Roman or whatever. So I'm really excited to check this one out. Since the book came out on Kickstarter, there's pages online that you can see from this, and it looks really cool too. So we've got our A cover right here, and we have a Paul Pert Smith black, white, and red variant.
This is Nemesis Forever number one, and this is a new 5-issue miniseries from Mark Millar and Matteo Scalera. This is the third Nemesis series. So if you're familiar with, basically, Batman is a bad guy, and I just activated Siri for some reason. So in this one, Nemesis is the world's most dangerous man. The whole premise of it, when it started, was like, oh, Batman, all the resources, all the smarts, the tactical thinking of Batman, but he's a really, really bad guy. So Nemesis is the world's most dangerous man. Now he's made himself into one of the richest. He's no longer content just to terrorize the forces of law and order. His new plan is to wreak havoc on his enemies and seize control of the world itself and enslave humanity with super technology. That's what it says, super technology. So I don't really know what kind of technology that is.
Super.
Yeah, but yeah, so if you like the first two Nemesis series, don't miss the third one. This is your A cover, and there's a Jay Lee variant.
That's very creepy.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Mega Man Zero Timelines. This is our next in the Timeline series they've been doing of these one-shots for Mega Man, covering the different looks and eras and games of Mega Man. This, like all the others, is a one-shot, but this one is by Ian Flynn, and the art is by Hanzo Steinbach. And this one covers Lost. Zero is the main one. This as Lost in the Barren Wasteland, the heroic hero Zero fights on. The world he knows is gone, but now a new future is rising and it needs protection. So if you are a fan of Mega Man Zero, you'll want to check this one out. We've only got the first one out so far, but it was really cool. I think maybe the second one comes out this coming week. I'm not positive. Coming out soon.
Yeah.
And I think there's like 5 of these or something. So I really like the first one. I'm interested to check out these other ones. We've got our A cover here, and there is a Jeffrey Cruz variant.
This is Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story number 2. This is, again, a 5-issue miniseries. Violet is back from the dead. Violet is the girl you see there on the left. She was killed in a hazing accident at a sorority last issue. But she's back from the dead, but her spirit is trapped within Sophie, her sister, which is the girl on the right. She wants to take down the sorority that's responsible for her death and pressures Sophie to attend the rush event that they're having. And what lengths will she go to get her revenge? And will Sophie always have her back? If not, that's going to be really awkward if Violet's trapped inside Sophie, but they're arguing and fighting. So, yeah, Hyde Street is fantastic. Anything related to Hyde Street is so good. So I can't wait for this. This is our A cover. We have a Gary Frank and Brad Anderson cover, and a Eamon Winkle and Robert Nugent variant.
Next up, we have Valiant Beyond Tales of the Shadowman. Shadowman is one of my favorite Valiant characters. I always love the tone of Shadowman stuff because it's always New Orleans, it's ghosts, it's monsters, that kind of thing. What I do love about this Valiant Beyond that they are kind of touting is they say designed as the ultimate jumping on point, the Valiant Beyond line of comics are absolute must-reads that will energize your love for superheroes. So of course they're calling out the Ultimate books, the Absolute books, and the Energon universe, basically saying they're kind of like that. They're a new jumping on point. If you've never read a Valiant book before, you can come in right here. As it says, new origin, new universe, and new starting point. This one is by AJ Empadu, and the art is by Sergio Monjes. The city of New Orleans is home to a rich history of music, art, and culture that has achieved unparalleled progress and success. It's the magic capital of the world and home to a hard-nosed detective trained in the ways of voodoo who has dedicated her life to keeping New Orleans safe. When an ultra-dangerous monster invades her jurisdiction and threatens the peace they fought so hard to protect, she must disobey her orders and summon the mysterious being known as Shadowman in order to save the city she loves. So yeah, it's always really cool. It's very, it borders that line of like a Hellboy type thing with what Shadowman gets up to. Discovered the secrets of the Shadowman in this all new 28-page story. So 28 pages, and I think it has a special price. It says,
well, I typed those in. It says $4.99 on the website. But...
yeah, but it does say a introductory price. So I'm not sure. Can you tell what it says on there?
No.
Well, you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going to check this out. I'm going to check out all of these Valiant Beyond books because I was a big fan of Valiant from years ago, and I love that there's a new resurgency of these.
Yeah, Valiant has some really cool characters and some cool stories. It's just had a really rocky publication run over the last 10, 12 years or so. And so they're trying again, and you don't need to know anything about anything because all of these are brand new start fresh. So I'm going to check them out too.
Yeah, I feel like the problems with kind of getting them out there has nothing to do with the characters. It has everything to do with just the publisher and who their distributor was and everything. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Ratchlin variant, which that's a pretty cool look for Shadowman. We've got a Calero connecting variant. I also really like that one. A Hunt's design variant. A Connolly full art variant. A Ratchlin full art. And the full art of the connecting. And I think there's a good 5 to 8 or something of these Valiant Beyond ones. They're doing Bloodshot, I think Exo, Harbinger. So
I want Ninjak.
Yeah, I bet Ninjak is going to be on there as well.
This is TMNT Journeys #1, and this is cool. So this reprints the 4th volume of the original Mirage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series in the original black and white format. So in that story, the Turtles are growing up, they're facing off against new dangers, and April and Casey Jones are expecting a baby. So the story for Ninja Turtles, in the original Mirage days, it progressed.
Yeah.
You know, they grew up. Like I said, April and Casey are together expecting a kid. We never really saw that kind of stuff in the cartoon in the 90s or anything like that. I know there's a lot of progression in the IDW series, but they weren't the first ones to do it. So you can read the original here. And I don't know how many of these they're going to do. I mean, are they going to...
I'm not sure. It feels like they're kind of setting themselves up to reprint the whole thing.
Yeah. But... I mean, it's only $4.99, so I don't know if it's issue, one by one, issue by issue or something like that. But this is our A cover by Peter Laird and Dooney. I don't have the name. And then there's an Kevin Eastman cover as well.
Next up, we got continuing stories, starting with Star Wars Jedi Knights, issue number 6. These have been so much fun so far, as each is kind of a standalone story, teaming up different Jedi, different characters, with a little through line through all of them. Well, in this one, Jedi Master Fondar Etis is dead. Qui-Gon, Mace, and Aayla Secura are dispatched to retrieve the body, but who killed Etis, and which Jedi is next to fall? So, I know it's none of them because they survived past this, but maybe it's someone else. I don't know if this has something to do... I know when the variants kind of hints at... It deals with that, assassin character from the first issue. But, yeah, this has been one of the best Star Wars series in quite a while, along with the Legacy of Vader series. So they are hitting on all cylinders. We've got our A cover here. We've got our Sprouse Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary variant. I love that one with the Battle of Kashyyyk. We've got a Dan Jurgens classic homage variant, and that's where you got your kind of assassin ninja character.
Snake Eyes.
Yep, Snake Eyes. And a Torrin Clark lightsaber variant with Shakti.
And this is Spider-Man and Wolverine number 4. This series has been so much fun. Now, we haven't gotten number 3 yet, and I'm not sure when that comes out. But the villain responsible for everything that's been going on in this series has set up a worldwide hunt that will put Spidey and Wolverine and any innocent people in their wake in grave danger. And it says an all-new villain brings the fight to our duo like never before. So I guess this is the first appearance of a new villain. I'm not sure who that is, what they look like. Yeah, I love the first 2 issues of this and cannot wait for this. This is our A cover. There's a Stonehouse variant, and there is a Tony Daniel variant.
Yeah, this series is great.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a sleeper hit, and now people are starting to catch on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we've got Umbrella Academy Plan B number 2. Not a whole lot to say about this one. You kind of have to have read the first one to really get what this solicitation talks about. But issue 1 was really good of this. It's great to be back with these characters, plus some new ones for Umbrella Academy. So we've got our A cover here, and there is a Roger Cruz variant, which is really cool.
And next is Return to Skull Island number 2. We didn't get a chance to talk about the first one.
Yeah,
it's not this week.
Yeah, it came late.
Yeah, it came late, so we didn't get a chance to read it. But if you read it, the second issue is up for pre-order. Kong has his first encounter with the newest and biggest threat to Skull Island, leaving a trail of suffering and destruction in its wake. And meanwhile, the team struggles to evade the toxic tendrils that are tightening their grip on the island. So just big monster action. This is our A cover. There's a Christopher Jones variant and a Diego Yapur variant.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's kind of like in the last movie where they find the throne and everything. Next up, we got Cover Gallery. Just some real cool covers we wanted to show you, starting with Birds of Prey. It's got some great ones this week. This is the Malavia variant, and I love Barbara as Oracle.
Yeah, me too.
We have a Eom variant.
I really like that too.
Yep, I love Black Canary.
Mm-hmm.
And a Bruno Redondo Artist Spotlight variant. So Bruno Redondo is the next to have a series of variants through different series.
This is JSA number 10. This is the Jorge Corona Hawkman variant. And this is awesome. I finally got caught up with JSA today. And it's really cool. I love this series, and I can't wait for... Hawkman's been missing for a couple issues, so can't wait for him to come back.
Next up, we have Poison Ivy, which always has fantastic covers.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Edgeker variant. And we have a Ben Harvey variant. I like her hair there because it reminds me of Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like a real smooth shape.
This is Secret 6, number 6. This is the last issue of this miniseries, and this is the Salvador LaRocca variant.
Next, we have Magic number 8. This is the Perel variant, which is really cool.
I like that sword, the skinny, like katana-looking thing. That's neat.
Because the one giant sword wasn't enough. Right. Magic needs a second.
She's like, I got another hand. It's,
Yeah, because she does, a lot of times fight with that giant sword with one hand.
Yeah.
Which seems incredible. And also there's a J. Scott Campbell Spectacular Collection variant. There is a lot more of these J. Scott Campbell Spectacular Collection variants. But he's been slowly rolling them out, kind of showing them off on his Instagram. And even now, they're not all announced, or they're not all shown. But there's a few that for books that we talked about here, or more on this week's order, that just aren't ready yet. So keep checking back up until Sunday as they slowly get revealed.
I want to say there's in total 28 of them or something over the course of a few weeks, I guess. But they look great.
Yep.
And this is Daredevil number 24. This is the David Parator variant. And then there is another J. Scott Campbell Just Spectacular variant.
And next we have X-Men number 20, the Jeffrey Brown variant. I love these. I love Jeffrey Brown's work, especially his Darth Vader and Son little books about, that are really cute.
Nice a colored pencil look to that.
Yeah, the texture and everything is great.
And this is Herculoids number 6, the Kyle Hotz variant.
Just real scary. Next up, we have Bookshelf, some collected editions of things we thought you'd like to know about. starting with Challengers of the Unknown, another one of our favorite all-in series. This one was so good. This one, The Question, and New Gods, which the next issue of that comes out next week as well, are kind of the trifecta of the first wave of all-in books that just really blew our socks off. So highly recommend this one. It collects the whole miniseries for $17.99.
And this is Metamorpho, the Element Man trade paperback. So this is going to be $17.99, and this collects the entire 6-issue mini-series of Metamorpho. And if you saw the Superman movie, if you're going to go see it, and you like Metamorpho in it, and you want some more goodness, check this out because it's a lot of fun.
Next up, we have Supergirl Universe End. This is a single trade paperback that collects the backup stories from Action Comics 1070 through 1081, plus the Supergirl special. So it's a nice little, we're starting to get more and more Supergirl stuff as the movie comes out next year. That I love that we're kind of catching everybody up on that. This is by Mariko Tamaki, and the art is by Skylar Patridge. And in this is when Power Girl kind of reemerges on the scene, and Kara is trying to figure out, what is my place? I'm kind of redundant with Power Girl here, and she goes off to kind of make a name for herself elsewhere. It's a very soul-searching adventure. So you can get all of this for only $19.99.
And this is the Batman Arkham Asylum Living Hell Deluxe Edition hardcover. And this is going to be $29.99. It collects the 6-issue Arkham Asylum series, which exposes the true depravity and lunacy of Batman's greatest foes in a sanitarium that they call home. So we were talking about this just the other day, how this isn't your typical comic. It's very painterly. It's not narrated, the typical way. There's not like panels and stuff like that. It actually takes you inside Arkham Asylum, kind of makes you feel like you're in there.
But this one's a different one than the Grant Morrison one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, this one, like, Dan Slott worked on it.
Oh, shoot.
I think it was kind of like a series of one-shots.
I just thought Living Hell was a clever name for this new edition of Batman Arkham Asylum. Well, never mind. Forget everything I just said. It is still a 6-issue series, though, and it is $29.99, but that's all I know about it.
I think the original Arkham side, the Grant Morrison one, was just a graphic novel. I don't think it came out issue by issue. Okay. And this one was a mini-series.
Okay.
So.
Whoops.
Next up, we have, speaking of Dan Slott, this is really big. This is the Amazing Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection Big Time. This collects Amazing Spider-Man, a story, the main story from 648 and then 662 through 654.1. And this is when I started reading Spider-Man on a regular basis. This was when Dan Slott took over as it was a rotating cast of writers up until this point, a little bit into this, but this is really when Dan Slott became the main Amazing Spider-Man writer. This is the run, it begins here, that goes through Spider Island,
Into the Earth was one of them.
Spider-Verse, the original Spider-Verse was through here. You've got art by Giuseppe Camuncoli and mostly Humberto Ramos on this. It is fantastic. If you're looking for a place to start reading a great run of Spider-Man, I suggest Big Time as your starting point.
It is a crime against humanity that we do not have a couple different Amazing Spider-Man by Dan Slott omnibuses, but at least now we have this. I'm so excited for this because there's a lot of that I don't have in physical format, so can't wait to add this to the show.
Yeah, you had crazy stuff like, I think the Anti-Venom had his first appearance somewhere around here, but yeah, the Ends of the Earth. In this, this is when Parker Industries gets started.
Yep.
This is when Spider-Man kind of officially joins the Avengers. It's so good. I'm one of my favorite Spider-Man runs ever. And you can get all of this for $54.99.
I'm excited about this.
I've already pre-ordered this.
Yeah, this is the Avengers by Jeff Johns and Olivier Coipel omnibus. So this is going to be $100. It collects Avengers number 57 through 84, and that's the series that started back in 1998, the Heroes Return stuff, the series that started with Kurt Busiek and George Perez. doing it. So it's that series. It's just a few years later. So 57 through 84 of that. There is the 4-issue Vision miniseries from 2002. It also has Thor number 58 from back in that started that started in 1998. That started with Heroes Return stuff. Iron Man number 64 from that same time period, and then New Invaders number 0, the 2004 series. And if you don't know what the story is, the capital cities of every country on Earth vanish, and the rest of the nations turn to the Avengers for help. But Thor ascends to Asgard's throne and decides to start answering his worshippers' pleas for help, which causes a tense standoff with Iron Man and Captain America. There is an amnesiac Vision that faces technological terror. A new hero with an impressive legacy joins the team, but when the new invaders hit the battlefield, Namor marshals his forces, but whose side will the Avengers come down on? So lots of stuff going on here. But this is it's $100, so it's one of the smaller omnibuses, but it doesn't sound like it's smaller, but it does have the smaller price. So cannot wait for this one. Such a cool era. This is the this is the David Finch cover. This is the standard edition cover, so you'll be able to get this at bookstores everywhere. And then there's the Jim Chung cover, which is only available at comic shops like ours.
And next up, we have Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3, Family Business. This one's really cool because this goes up, this is issues 13 through 18. So they're putting these out pretty consistently. You can pretty much stay up to date with Ultimate Spider-Man if you've read the trades and then you go to the shelf. You should be able to get...
Yeah, I don't think number 18 is even out yet. So, I mean, it will be out, obviously, by the time this comes out. But, yeah, they're cranking these out real quick. And this one has issues 13 and 14, which are probably the two best issues in the whole series so far.
Yeah, so this is fantastic. If you're only reading it trade-wise, don't miss on this. But if maybe you haven't started reading the Ultimate Universe, but you're like, you know what, I really want to, what's the best way to read it? Why don't you try the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Universe Invasion Box Set Slipcase. So this is a big old fancy edition. This collects Ultimate Invasion, Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, Ultimate X-Men Volume 1, Ultimate Black Panther Volume 1, Ultimates Volume 1, and Ultimate Wolverine Volume 1. You can get all of those for $120 in this nice slipcase. So if you have not started on your Ultimate journey yet, this might be the way to go.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Great introduction. Like I said, if you haven't been reading it, grab this and you'll have the beginning of all of them.
Yes. Yeah. So really cool. $120 even. Next up, we got some new printings.
This is Batman Harley Quinn #1, the facsimile edition. And, you know, I was reading the solicitation, jogging my memory, and it said that this is... well, I guess it said that it's Harley Quinn's introduction into comics.
It's Harley Quinn's introduction into the main DC universe.
Yeah.
Not
her first appearance in comics ever.
Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, it's the classic cover here from Alex Ross. There's a Jason Geyer and Alex Saviuk variant. There is a Alex Ross foil variant. Oh, the Jason Geyer one was the
toy.
Yeah, I love those. So there's a foil version of the Alex Ross, and then there's a blank also.
And next up, one of the most popular modern day covers, I believe. This one is huge. This is Detective Comics 880. This is the facsimile edition of that one. Also, this was big because this was early Scott Snyder back before New 52 Batman. It was his little run on Detective Comics. It's really, really good. I was buying this when it came out. I had this cover. I ended up selling it for quite a bit because this has become like such a big thing. Mm-hmm. But if you love this, you want to get in on it, you can get this one, the A cover. There is once again a Jason Geyer and Alex Saviuk cover with Batman. And there is a foil edition, which I'm really interested to see what that looks like in foil.
Yeah.
And a blank cover, so you can draw more bats making up a character space.
And this is VR Troopers #1, the second print, and this is the cool Dan Mora design variant here. I didn't read VR Troopers, but you did. Yeah. You said it was really, really cool. Yeah. So if you missed out, this we've already talked about the second issue, so that's the FOC for that is passed. But if you missed out, you can grab #1, the second print.
And that is it for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Head on over to infinityflux.net right now where you can place your pre-orders for these books, their variants. Plus, there's a lot more over there. keep checking back because a lot of variants were not available yet. They're kind of slow churning them out, but they should all be there by this weekend. So start placing your pre-orders so you don't miss out on any of these. So when they come out in a few weeks, you're all set and you don't have to worry about them selling out. Make sure to check out all of our other cool videos that we've got up on our YouTube page. We've got our Monday video where we go over the books that come out that week. We've got one coming up this coming Monday, and it is a big week for comics.
Next week is big. Both in, we say this all the time. We're saying it again because it's true. Big in quantity and caliber of books. Just lots of big stuff next week.
Yeah, we have not even yet started pulling all of ours together to read because it's taken so long to just get them all prepared.
Yep.
But it's going to be a big one, so don't miss Monday's show. Plus, we've got all of our other shows. Our one on Wednesday, where it's a kind of a short version of this, and our Friday show that is the one you just watched. So, thank you for watching, and make sure to like, subscribe.
Go see Superman this weekend, and if you already saw it, go see it again because it's awesome.
Yes.
And it should be watched all the time forever by everyone.
And until next time.
See ya.
Bye.